Hey y'all, welcome back to Cozy One Podcast. This is season 7, where we are dissecting different types of parents and different levels of parenting so we can be better parents, so we can be aware of what we need to tweak a little bit, what we need to get rid of, and what we need to add in. So I hope you guys are ready to be honest, ready to hear feedback and constructive criticism, because that's what it is. Most of the time I can only speak from my experiences, but majority of the time I'm talking to you about parenting that makes sense, parenting that creates a healthy family construct and healthy children. That's what we want. We want healthy children so they can have healthy families and they can live a great life. All right, so let's get into this episode. Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cozy One Podcast. My name is Shan, Mama Rocky, Mama of the Girls. This is episode 5. The parent we're talking about today is the only worried about mine parent. Ugh. Oh my goodness. This kind of parent is the worst because you can't have children who interact with other children and go to school with other children and play outside with other children and think where you're only worried about your kid, because whatever is going on with your kid will affect the other kids that your kid is around. And if we all had this mentality, more kids would die, more kids would get hurt, more kids will come up missing, and more. A lot of negativity that no parent wants to hear or needs. What we teach our kids affect other kids in a major way. And I'm going to go over a little insight on how and why having the I'm only worried about mine as a parent is counterproductive. Like, you can't have that and have your kids around other kids unless you're going to keep your kid in a bubble and homeschool them and not have them interact with other kids or speak to other children. Then go ahead, have that mentality. But your kid is not going to learn anything about themselves or other people's character if you're only worried about them. Because what does that say about you? All right, so that's what we're getting into today.
Hey Cozy Woman fam, this is JC, the dopest mommy around and owner of He Hates My Tees, a novelty t-shirt company based out of Arlington, Texas. This is our first year grinding it out, and baby, it's been a beautiful journey. I'm a mommy of 2 spicy kids, Davy and Jameson, and an educator. And I started my company as a way to be self-sufficient and control my own narrative on my value after working several years in a corporate environment being, undervalued. My latest collection is called The Dopest Around, saluting all dope-ass folks. We just released the Dopest Mommy Around dad hats, and they are fire. You hear me? Fire. It's available in several colors. Follow us on IG at He Hates My Tees and visit our website, hehatesmytees.com. And that's tees, Tees. Use code COZY15 for 15% off your purchase. Love ya, be dope, stay dope, and I'll see you around.
We can talk about some Black-owned baby product brands. There is a store based in Atlanta called Happy Mango that has all things pregnancy needs, pregnancy wants, and cuteness. Then we have Crunchy Boutique, which is cute. Little diapers, cloth diapers, and baby carriers. It should be eco-friendly and made by Black women entrepreneurs. Then you have the Healthy Roots dolls, where you can buy a doll that looks like your son or your daughter. Really cute. Then you have Tippy Tot Shoes, which is another Black-owned company. If your little toddler is taking their first steps, maybe they might need some cute walking shoes. Check them out. Tippy taught shoes. Hashtag them, find them. Then you have Darling and Co. DARLYNG, the and symbol, and CO. And that has like natural body wash, natural body oils, creams, good, nice things for the baby. You want to stay away from a lot of chemicals with new babies. Some babies might come out with eczema. Sometimes it goes away. Sometimes it's something that's permanent. Some babies might have like small, like little bumps on them, maybe from the breast milk, maybe from something rubbing on their skin. Like their skin is very delicate. So you want to make sure that the products that you're using are healthy and natural. So those are some things to check out. Let's see what else can do for baby. Cocoa Pie Clothing. Cute illustrations on onesies. You can never have enough onesies when you have a baby. Period. Long sleeve, short sleeve. And then if you get long sleeves and it's the right size but it's out of season, cut the sleeves so it's short sleeves if it's hot. They have little muffin cakes, baby boutique. Cute little cloths and washcloths for the little baby. You have little legends books. Cute books for babies. I think you can never have enough baby books. I would rather have more baby books and kids books than a whole bunch of toys around my house. That's just my personal preference, but every parent is different. But those are some things to look into. Let's get back to today's episode. If we truly think about it as parents, our kids imitate us. They try their best to do what we do, say what we say, act how we act, and if they're around other children, they're spewing whatever we give them out on other children. So it does matter. It can't always just be about your kid. Kids, pick up so much from other kids. They pick up their actions, their words, their mannerisms, their thoughts. So as parents, we can't be selfish and only worry about our kids, because if we're selfish in our thoughts and how we think, if there are 5 kids outside playing together outside, all day, and the ice cream truck comes, are you just going outside with money to buy your kid ice cream so they can sit in front of other kids and eat ice cream or candy? Or are you making sure you have enough for all 5 kids that are outside playing all day in the sun with each other so they can all enjoy, in fairness, the same popsicle, the same ice cream cone? Like, I understand that everything that you do for your kid, you can't do for everybody else's kid. But I'm talking about in this one situation where a popsicle might cost $1.50. Okay? Very basic popsicle. We're not talking about SpongeBob ice cream cone that has a bubble gum in the middle that probably costs, $4 now for the ice cream truck. The prices is growing, right? We're not talking about that. I'm talking about a basic popsicle. Something from the ice cream truck that you can buy multiple kids at the ice cream truck. If it's 5 of them, you can do it. As an adult, you can do it, okay? Wouldn't you want your kid to be treated by another parent like that? They didn't have money. They all wanted ice cream. You didn't come outside and you bought just your child ice cream. You bought everybody ice cream. That would make you feel good. And that would show other kids that it is okay to do for others that cannot do for you. That is what's going to build your child's character. You can't be selfish in how you teach, maintain, take care of, groom, and display your affection just to your kid. You can't. You have to show your kids how to be good to others when it doesn't even benefit them. That's how they're going to treat the homeless. That's how they're going to treat a kid that has less than them. That's how they're going to treat elderly, is how you treat others. As a parent, we have to be the example. We don't have a choice. What you teach your kid is what your child would teach mine. When you take your toddler, even down to toddler. Do you take your toddlers to daycare? And then they start acting a crazy new way that you ain't never seen. It's because they're watching other kids in the room. It's because they're seeing the results from other children and what their actions and what they say gets them. So they want to do that too. So even if you don't talk about certain topics at home, you don't watch certain things at home, kids have cell phones now, easy access to the internet. If you don't let them watch it, they might go over to their friend's house and watch it. Or they might watch it on their friend's phone. If you don't let them play a certain game, they might play it on their friend's phone. If you don't give them a cell phone, they might use their friend's cell phone. Like, you can't raise a child in a balanced way in a bubble. You can't. They're going to have to be able to face challenges. They're going to have to be able to feel what it feels like to be around people that are smarter than them, bigger than them, taller than them, have more opportunities than they do, and still be able to stand strong and confident in that circle of kids. It matters how you treat your child, because that's how they're going to treat other children. It matters that you can't just think like, oh, I'm only going to get my kid this because I'm just worried about my kid. You know, my kid is my own responsibility. You can tell your kid whatever you want. You can't constantly think that way about everything when it involves kids. It doesn't make any sense, especially if you're blending a household. If you are in a new relationship, in a new marriage, and you're blending a household, all of those children in that household are now your kids, vice versa. You can't be like, oh, the kids are hungry, I'm just going to bring in food for my two. Because I picked them up from school, so I'm just going to bring in food for my two. And bring it in a house where there's other kids and they don't have anything. You can't do that. Get something everyone can eat. Like, your mentality has to be super selfless when it involves multiple kids. Especially when you're merging a household and merging families. Because you're teaching an hierarchy with your other children in the household that your kids are more elite, your kids deserve more than they do, your kids get more than they do, and they can't say anything, they can't have an opinion, they can't be bothered by it. But if it was on the other foot and the other kids in the house had a new toy, or they had, ice cream or food or whatever, and your kids didn't get, that'll be a whole argument for you. No, it works both ways. And unfortunately, and I say this because the selfish parent that always wants to do for their kids only, on the other foot, they can't take their kids not getting something other kids have. They can't handle why their child wasn't asked to go on the trip like the other kids. They can't handle why their kid wasn't invited to a certain party. It's hard for them, but they do it to other people's kids all day long. And I don't know if it's ego, I don't know if it's ignorance or stubbornness, but they never want to see the issue in their thinking. If you're an a-hole, the chances are your kid is going to be an a-hole. It's just common sense. It's what your child sees. It's what your child hears. Like, that's going to be a normal result as to what you show your kid. If you feel entitled, then your kid will feel entitled. If you're ungrateful when it comes to people doing things for you and giving you things, then your kid will be ungrateful. So the way that we combat a parent that's only worried about their kid is you always call them out when they're doing things in an incorrect manner and being selfish. You say something, you stand up for it, and you do it in a way where it can be taught. Yes. She what?
He put paper in my hair.
There's no paper in your hair. Stop whining. Stop. I don't want to hear it. Stop. Okay. Okay, stop. Bye. Go.
Can I tell you something?
No. I'm recording. Cut it out. Stop. Get. Arya, stop it. They both need a nap. But yeah, you can't parent in that way. So, I don't know. I'm not into teaching adults, but I am in on calling out things that are ignorant and wrong when I see it, when I hear it, especially when it involves children that did not ask to be here. And as a parent, it is our duty as parents to become better at parenting every day. And if we're not really doing our fair share of self-criticism and awareness of our horrible habits, then it's just not going to work out for us, and it's not going to work out for your child. And you might look up and your 40-year-old kid is still in your house, not leaving your house, and they don't have any friends, and they haven't been on a date in their life, and they don't know how to wash their own clothes because you always washing it for them. They don't know how to budget because they haven't left your house and you've been doing it for them. And, they might drive a nice car, but they don't know how to take care of that car because you've been taking care of it for them. And it's like, if you don't get it while the snowball is small, that snowball is going to become huge. And my thing is, the only word about my parent, fails. You're going to fail. You're going to fail as a parent, and you're going to fail that child if you don't get out of that habit of only thinking about yours as if your child is the only child on the planet. And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Cozy One Podcast. I'm constantly thinking of what parent characteristic that is out there that people deal with a lot, but a selfish parent, oh my God, I hate it. Is the most ignorant type of parent to see, because to even be a parent, you have to be selfless. And if you have grown kids that are in double digits and you're still being selfish when it comes to your child, I'm just like, well, how did you enjoy the process of being pregnant? How did you give birth? How did you take care of the kid this far? Because you can't say you did it all by yourself. Nobody raises a child by themselves. Nobody corrects a child by themselves. It takes a team. It takes friends. It takes family. It takes teachers. It takes elders. It takes a lot of people to raise a well-rounded kid. So if you see any traits of you being selfish within your attitude and your parenting, correct it. Peace. Bye.
Bye.